What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Today we are going to be doing a park tour and sort of a history and a look back at Disney's Hollywood Studios here in the MCParks one-to-one scale recreation of Walt Disney World. So today we're going to be going through the history and the backstory of the Hollywood Studios and kind of how we got to the point we are today here in 2024. So there is a lot of rich backstory and history to this really good park. Disney's Hollywood Studios opened as Disney's MGM Studios in May 1st of 1989. That was the true opening of this park. And Michael Eisner's famous quote, "The Hollywood Studios, a world of make-believe and a world of Hollywood that never was and always will be." And kind of the theming behind that is it's a fantasy version of Hollywood that never truly existed, but it's our fantasy world of Hollywood that we want to remember, right? You want to, if you've ever been to Hollywood, it's a very, very dirty and kind of, some would even say, kind of a scummy backstory and history, but we always want to remember the golden age of Hollywood and just how many opportunities there were, and everyone was booming in the filming industry, and it kind of, this park perfectly represents what that park or what that version of Hollywood will always be remembered as, right? The good stuff. And that's what Disney's always been good for, is memorizing the good stuff, right? So this park technically reopened July 15th of 2020, and it's one of those things with Disney where this park has a rich, I apologize, guys. It has a very rich history, because the park was called Disney's MGM Studios, and it was called that for a very long time. So from 1989 opening day till 2008, this park was called Disney's MGM Studios. There's a long, rich history to the reason why it was called MGM Studios. They had bought you have to remember in 1989, Disney was not the company it is today. So they wanted to have a recognizable label like MGM Studios behind the park. And that's why it was called MGM Studios. And, by the time 2008 came around, Disney had become the conglomerate we know it is today. And that's kind of how they got to where they're at. The park really didn't have very many attractions. It was considered a half-day park. They had a backlot studio tour, which was hours. You could spend hours there. The studio catering company was part of that. The backlot tour, Streets of America, which there is still just one last remnant of my beloved Streets of America right here, back by Baseline Tap House. This place is definitely different than it used to be. It used to be the Hollywood Studios where you would go behind the scenes and see how movies were made. And today the theme is much more focused on you're stepping into the movies and you are becoming a part of the movies instead of going behind the scenes. And the problem I have with that is that just seems like a very loose theme, because basically every Disney park you're stepping into the movie, right? In Magic Kingdom, you're stepping into Fantasyland and you're stepping into every land. It just doesn't seem like it has a cohesive theme like it used to have. And I do think it's a shame. Technically, the only two attractions left from the opening year of Disney's Hollywood Studios or MGM Studios, is Indiana Jones, which had previews during opening day, but technically isn't an opening day attraction. Min and Bill's Dockside Diner, which I think it now has a new name here, but that's here. Gertie the Dinosaur is kind of a homage to the giant, if you go to Hollywood, they have giant donuts and giant just things to catch people's attention. So, of course, Disney, being Disney, kind of catching on to that, that crazy, zany scene, decided we're going to make a giant dinosaur, which is Gertie the Dinosaur right here. an opening day, I wouldn't say attraction, but an opening day thing from Echo Lake. There have been so many attractions back here. They used to have, what is the show called? The Monster Sound Show used to be here. I'm trying to remember what else has been back here. There's been so many changes to this area over the years. Now they've got Mickey Shorts back here. It's just a very different park, and it doesn't seem like there's much of a cohesive theme now, even with Toy Story and Star Wars there. And I think there's going to be a lot more changes to this park. Right now, Animation Courtyard is basically just on its last legs. They're putting a new Little Mermaid show in there, which is cool, but there's a lot more issues over there. Disney Junior is kind of just a temporary thing at this point. And of course, Star Wars Launch Bay is... This whole area just needs to be redone. And with all the problems they've been having with Rock and Roller Coaster behind it, I would not be surprised if Disney just completely redid this entire area. Bulldoze it all and make a land. And as much as I hate to say that because I love the Animation Courtyard theming, they need to figure something out back here because it is just a mess. And there is so much space in Launch Bay. I mean, you have an entire Star Wars land now, right? Do you really need Launch Bay? Probably not. And there's so much land back here. This used to be an animation studio. Disney used to film animation movies back here. So there is just so much space back here. There's actually, off-site property behind it. There's like a parking lot area. Disney could do so much with this space alone. Just this studio, taking out Star Wars Launch Bay, and then you factor on all this area in Animation Courtyard. Disney has so much real estate in the prime spot here in Star Wars, or in Disney's Hollywood Studios, right off the main path of Hollywood Boulevard. There's a lot they could do with this area, and I'd love to see them do something a little bit more Disney themed. But there's been rumors maybe they could put a Monsters Inc. land there. They might put in a Cars land. There's so many different rumors that have been brought up about changing up this area in Hollywood Studios. Obviously, one of the bigger additions in 1991, Disney added the Muppets area. So you've got Muppet Vision 3D, you have all of that stuff back there, Melma Melrose and all that stuff, and that'll be another video. Obviously, you have Sunset Boulevard, another expansion in 1993 or 94, which obviously added Tower of Terror, added Beauty and the Beast, and Rock and Roller Coaster. So that is our quick tour here of Disney's Hollywood Studios. This used to be my favorite park, but I think with all the identity crisis stuff going on with this park, I don't really like Star Wars. I'm not a huge Toy Story kid. This park is definitely losing some of its favoritism toward me, but I'm expecting a lot of good things for this park in the future. I'm optimistic for the future, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's tour, and I'll see you guys again next time. Peace out.